start. Happy Saturday. What is up? Hold on here. Let me scroll up. D-Nice, Wendy, Matthew, Carol, Gunner Girl, Brandon, Delia Lusk, Chris Barber. How's everyone doing? And Brandon, thank you for being a member of the Wolfpack for 15 months. Hearts for Brandon with a happy Saturday. Thank you, Brandon. D-Nice has... Hold on, let me go up. What do aliens like to eat? Unidentified frying object. D-Nice also goes, how do aliens pay for coffee? They use Starbucks. Get it? What do you call alien eggs? Extraterrestrials. What do you call an alien with 3 eyes? And if athletes get athlete's foot, then what do astronauts get? Mistletoe. And what is up? Wendy, thank you for the super sticker of the fitness pair. Laughing hearts for Wendy as well. Tammy, how's it going? How's everyone doing while we wait for people to trickle in? How's your weekend so far, guys? Thank you, D-Nice. I appreciate that. She says, I love your laugh. It was cooler today, so kind of enjoyed it. It's still hot in my house, though, but cooler outside. Lisa Boo, what is up? Project Metal Music says, A up, Project Metal Music. Jillian, what is up? Joanne? Joanne saying, very rainy here. D-Nice goes, I took Maya for a walk, just got back. Now that's cool. I went on a walk earlier as well. There was a nice breeze. I was still hot, though, but there was a nice breeze. All right, guys, while I'm waiting for people to trickle in before I get into the nitty-gritty, I have an article here, guys, I want to share while we wait for people. And then we'll get into the alien business. That way you don't look at me just staring at the screen. So this, if you guys are looking for something to stream this weekend, horror-wise, here's a list of 5 horror movies to stream now. This month's pick features a zombie romance, a drug trial from hell, and a deathly prehistoric evil. It starts off with Lisa Frankenstein. I have not seen this yet, but it is on my list. It is on Prime Video if you guys have it. Lisa is a lot like I was in 1989. She lives with her middle-class family in the suburbs, loves staying up late to watch horror movies, and has a crush on a cute boy with bangs. What Lisa, a biting Catherine Newton, has that I didn't back then is a boyfriend played here by Cole Sprouse with dreamy bad boy appeal. Sure, he's from the 19th century. Yes, he has a too quick temper and his tears smell like a hot toilet at a carnival, but he's a devoted protector who listens well and never talks, and who would have won a boy like that even if he is undead. That's the playful setup to Zelda's Williams' big-hearted Pretty in Pink meets Reanimator dark comedy with snarky and whimsy Williams and the screenwriter Diablo Cody. Jennifer's Body put a playfully macabre spin on the Frankenstein legend that doubles as a supervised exploration of the universal desire to be loved and understood. Add in soundtrack that include the Violent Femmes and the Chameleons, and the cheerfully twisted film is one heck of a Gen Xer dream stream. It is on my list. I have not yet to see. I know some of you have seen this in the chat and you said it was pretty good, so I still need to see it. Double Blind, if you guys have Tubi, it's an app that you could download on your phone. I'm not sure if some TVs have these. I'm pretty sure your TV nowadays can download that too. It's a movie app that has pretty much free movies on it. For his feature debut, the Irish director Ian Hunt Duffy starts with a reliable horror convention. He puts a bunch of strangers in a room, introduces a Monstrous premise turns the stake up to 11 and lets the devil take over. The result is a tense 90-minute killer thriller of David Cronenberg-style body horror and science fiction dystopia. Claire Millie Brady volunteers at an antiseptic bunker-like clinic for what appears to be a routine pharmaceutical trial with a group of other young people who look like they've put their bodies on the line for money this way before. The pill popping goes normally until insomnia starts to set in, and the group learns that one of the medicine's side effects is death. If you fall asleep, you die. As paranormal sets in and the building goes under lockdown, the assembled guinea pigs are left to fend off both sleep and one another. Hunt Duffy and the screenwriter Darac McGarrigle maintain propulsive pace that did for me what it did not for the characters, keep me awake. And just for reference, the author to this article is Eric Piepenberg. So these are his picks. Out of Darkness, which is streaming on Paramount Plus for those of you that have it. I know Paramount Plus has different tiers, so there's some movies you can see and some movies you can't, which makes it annoying. I don't know why they did that. This year, I've watched horror films that take place in the 18th century America, Thine Ears Shall Bleed, 18th century Austria, The Devil's Bath, and many other eras, but I've never been so transported as I was watching Andrew Cummings' debut feature. It sets some 45,000 years ago on desolate stretches of the Scottish Highlands in a curveball that will make language nerds weep in ecstasy. The script is written in a fictional prehistoric language. And thank you for those 5 gifted memberships, and welcome Deidre, Lori, Rachel, Aquarius, Stacy, to the Wolfpack. Hearts for Emily and all the new Wolfpack members. Nerd Report, what is up? Leonore, how's it going? And if you guys are just coming in, I am basically waiting for people to trickle in before I get into the nitty gritty, the UFOs, the strange and unusual. I want to say this stream is more strange and unusual, and I found an article that suggested some horror films that you can stream this weekend. The survival story is straight out of the hills have eyes. A group of humans, including a leader, Chuku Modu, his young son, Luna Muezi, and a young woman, Sophia Oakley Green, are menaced by an unseen force that threatens their survival as it dwindles their tribe one by one. Coming and his cinematographer Ben Fordsman are more invested in atmosphere than plot, and it pays off. Vast vistas, shadow casting flames, and wind-whipped faces become the villains we do see. Too bad a twist ends the film on a strangely syrupy note. Star of Acre, I guess this one is streaming, but you have to purchase it. Usually with these, I kind of just wait till it becomes on a streaming service. I have never heard of this. Grief looks like wild eye hair in the chilling folk horror drama from the writer-director Daniel Kokotalo in the 1970s, and at their remote farmhouse in the British countryside, Richard Matt Smith and his wife Juliet Morfied Clark mourn the unexpected death of their young son, Owen Arthur Shaw. Before the boy died, he told his mother he'd been hearing whispers from a demonic entity named Jack. Richard, an archaeologist, is familiar with the entity too, having heard about it from his father, who was obsessed with local mythologies and the summoning and sacrifices required of them. When a dead rabbit creature that Richard brings home slowly come back to life, the couple make peace with it and with other sinister omens in order to speed their path to healing. Kokotalo's stark but tender meditation on death calls to mind Lamb, Lord of Misrule, and other recent folk horror films about parents in grief. But Kokotalo, backed by his cinematographer Adam Scrath, is assured in crafting a sense of despair that doesn't retreat familiar terrain. Matthew Herbert's beautifully dissonant score deserves star billing. Dr. Jekyll, this one's also, you have to purchase it, but it's on VOD Fans of Hammer, the British studio known for monster melodramas with Peter Cushing, The Mummy, and Christopher Lee, Dracula, are in for a treat, perhaps with Joe Stevenson's new film. A Hammer production, has many of the hallmarks that made the studio a camp delight. It's set at a remote estate where a wealthy, eccentric doctor stalls the halls and freaks out her young, naive new assistant, a perfectly mousy Scott Chambers. What sets the film apart in the Hammer filmography is that it's an intentional dark comedy with a queer sensibility. Nina Jekyll, the evil titled doctor, is played by the comedian Eddie Izzard, who, with a bright red lip and racks of elegant costumes, upends gender in the film's 1886 source material. Robert Louis Stevenson's Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Izzard came out as transgendered in 1985. The film isn't all that scary, so if you're in the mood for a slightly creepy, mildly amusing twist of the Jekyll and Hyde story, that is your pick. For Izzard fan, the film is a must, as the story too slowly crawls toward its explanation of what drives the monster within. Izzard's cast a bewitching spell that keeps the film thrumming. So if you guys are looking for something to watch at home, here are some ideas. If you guys are wanting to go to the movie theater, Alien Romulus is out now. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It does have a badass popcorn bucket, so if you guys could get that popcorn bucket and are a fan of Alien, go for it. It does have a face hugger on it. And I'm not a fan of popcorn buckets, but for some odd reason, that one just looks badass. Emily, what is up? Tyrana, what is up? So, like I said earlier, today's theme is strange and unusual with aliens. If you're new to the channel, I believe more in the paranormal than I do in UFOs. I'm still skeptical about both. Especially when it comes to videos, especially when it comes to TikTok. Too many people want to be TikTok famous. It's too easy to edit and add things into the videos nowadays. I mean, there's people that can make it look like authentic when it's not. I can't. You can tell where my edits are. But when it comes to UFOs, I want to believe. I know some people have had experiences, and I know I'm like, darn, you're lucky. But I don't mean it that way, because I feel like an alien encounter is scary. I'm just saying lucky because you have proof, like you've seen with your own eyes, that alien exists. And I hope to one day to be able to witness this, but I have yet. But until then, I'm going to remain a little skeptic. I do believe on life on other planets. I do find it plausible that they're coming here, but I feel like if they are coming here, they'll be just like us. If we find something new, we're going to test it. We're going to find out what it is. And I feel like that's something they would do. But by what they're seeing of their technology, I can imagine what they think of us. Like just listening on, I can imagine them having the technology of being able to hear what we're saying, like broadcasting or what's on YouTube, and what they actually think about that and what they're hearing on the news. It would make me not want to come here. So Mr. Spock, what is up? Jillian goes, I want to know, but don't want to know at the same time. And goes, hi, Lisa, do you think California is... if California is getting UFOs or UAPs, whatever it's called? Wendy goes, is it a sim? I seek data. I don't think we're living in a sim. I did do I have a previous stream about that, if we're living in a simulation, because there's some people that believe we are living in a simulation, which I had never known about until I was watching Slapped Ham. and he has always mentioned these videos with glitches in it. I don't think we are. I think it takes a lot of technology that we don't have the capability of yet. I think it's a possibility, but I don't think we are now. Mr. Spock goes, "You must be a cat person. You have cat ears." Actually, these are wolf ears, but I am a cat person. Emily goes, "I've had enough experience as far as paranormal that I'm a believer." Jillian goes, "The glitches trip me out a little." Leonore goes, "Aliens don't want to talk to us. We humans don't like each other. Why would they?" Emily, with the paranormal, I haven't had like experiences where doors are opening or where I hear things, footsteps or things falling off, but I've had other experiences. So that's where I'm a believer when it comes to that, but when it comes to videos, I'm going to question them. So this article is from the Daily Mail. I've got several articles. I'm probably I'll go to, they all have a little different thing that they offer. But I felt like this one was like more in depth. Eerie footage shows mysterious lights in the sky above California desert amid huge spikes in UFO sightings. Eerie footage shows mysterious lights in the sky above the California desert amid a huge spike in UFO sightings. The Etre Sombras Elusis podcast, Three Shadows and Lights, shared photos of the alleged paranormal activity that took place over Lancaster County on Thursday night and asking, did anyone else see this? In one 50-second video, a single red light could be seen flashing in the night sky. UFO sighting in the Los Angeles area yesterday at midnight. We saw a bright red light for about 5 to 10 minutes. This one is saying it was in Los Angeles, but I do know because I saw someone post that the planets are in a line. I'm not sure which planets. So by looking, I will show you this photo. I think that's what it is. I don't think this particular one is a UFO. The caption read as haunting theme music from the X-Files played in the background. It dropped off some type of capsule and then vanished. The reported UFO sighting prompted many to flood the internet with similar tales of seeing unexplained lights in the sky. So I don't know if I click on this, no, it doesn't go to it if I click on it. This is just a still. And this is an actual, let me make sure the sound is off because it has. See if you guys see this enlarged. Once it loads, hold on, guys. So this is a video. It's a TikTok. Give me a second. Oh, you can see it. Okay, this is a TikTok. This is pretty much as large as I can get it, unfortunately, with TikToks. This says it's a UFO sighting in Los Angeles, which occurred early this morning or yesterday. It says 8:15 at midnight. So I don't know if they mean 8:16. The other day, which I did not see. But then again, the other day I was not looking at the sky, so there's no sound, guys, because it's playing the X-Files theme, and YouTube's gonna come after me for that, so I will keep it muted. If you're wondering why there's no sound. It didn't move at all. I mean, according to this article, it said it was supposed to move. It didn't move. So um, it's what I said before. I think it's a planet and not a UFO. What do you guys think this could be? D Nice goes, Mercury's in retrograde August 28th through September 12th. You're welcome. Jennifer Marie's asking if I could play it again. I did. I'm just gonna leave it running in the background. Jillian goes, this site reminds me of the reports of Colorado red rocks last month. I did mention that too as well. Wendy goes, I'm spooked because I feel it. Ann goes, I'm not seeing anything. It's basically, let me see if I could get this enlarged for you guys. Let me click off of this one. Give me a second, guys. And I'll show you the actual. I don't know if this makes it any better for you. Hold on. The problem with TikTok is like you can't get it because it's vertical. There you go. That's a little better. There you go, guys. Emily goes, I've seen some weird lights in the middle of the night on 2 separate occasions, but until I see ET, I'm not convinced. I'm with you, Emily. Like, I need to physically see. I want to believe. I need the physical. I want to see an alien coming out of a spaceship for me to be a believer. And I also think like some of these videos that do say that, especially like the Las Vegas alien, the video was so grainy, it was hard for me to believe it. Plus the fact that he was now saying that his house was haunted afterward, like a year later. So that made me a little even more skeptical about it. Jillian goes, I think it's a planet. That's what I was thinking too. Matthew goes, looks like a planet, just like I seen. Jillian goes, I bet it's Mars. I did see because someone on my Facebook had posted pictures of the planets. I'm not sure which ones. But when I first saw this, I'm with you guys. I was like, that's a planet. Like, do you not know that it was? I think it was even in the news that they had mentioned that the planets were going to be visible. But I don't blame this person for thinking it is because it's super bright, but still. Jillian goes, Mars has an orange hue to it. I see it all the time in Florida. Tyrana goes, yeah, it's a planet. That's exactly what I'm thinking it is. Hold on, let me stop the screen here. Go back to the article. Leonore goes, during certain seasons, you can see the planet. Jennifer Marie goes, that poor planet got all dressed up for its big appearance in years and people thought it was aliens. D Nice goes, how fast was it moving in the sky? That particular video, it wasn't moving and it said it was. So I don't know where who wrote this article got their information. So on X, Think Tank posted another video with the caption, a video from last night's mass sighting in California. The 22-second footage appeared to show a long lit up object. In the background, a boy can heard asking his mother, what is that, Mom? What is that? Do you see that, Mom? You see that? When the boy's mother looked up and saw the foreign objects blinking in the sky, she yelps, "Holy S! What the hell is that?" She continues, "At one point, someone can be heard running and breathless. Oh my God, what is that? What is that? What the F is happening?" He could be heard repeating the same question again. What is that? What is that? I do have that one, but that is on another article. Let me find that one because it didn't say in this article. Give me a second, guys. Oh, it's not that one. That one's caught on Ring camera. Give me a second. It is this one. I think one of them had the video on it. Give me a second, guys, while I try. Oh, here it is. I think it's this one. All right, this one does have her saying F, so just a warning. It has explicit in it. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know if it's going to bother you guys, so I'm just going to give you a warning. So here is what I just read. I think it's a son recording this, and he is saying, "Hey, mom, like, check what is this?" And she goes, "Holy S, what the heck is that?" And again, just a warning because she does use the F word. In case it doesn't bother me, but I don't know if it's gonna bother you all.
What is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit! What the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this? Oh my God! What the fuck is happening? What is that? What is that? Oh, what is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
I'll have it playing in the background. But guys, what do you think that is? Chris, what is up? D Nice goes, Mercury is currently in retrograde, so if it was moving in odd direction, that could be Mercury. The dates are August 5th to 28. Jules is saying satellites. Jules also said it's possible Jupiter. Chris goes, that's either a drone or a UFO. Mr. Spock goes, it's a drone. Batty goes, police lights. I mean, it does look like that, but it's kind of high in the sky, but it could be a reflection. Joanne has seen something like that. Leonard goes, no way, does it feel like the Close Encounters movies? Matthew goes, several drones together. It looks like a row of police car lights flew. I didn't think of that, but it does. So, this other article also gives an explanation. Which is what Tyrena goes, I think drones also. Jillian goes, looks disc shape also. Carol goes, looks like a drone with lights. So there is another explanation, like someone had put an explanation as to what that might have been. Because there's always an explanation to something. But it's still considered unidentified because you still don't know exactly what it is. But someone had posted this saying, showing like a video on, let me see if I can make this bigger, of drones. which I've seen before when I go to music festivals. Or the one I went in Vegas when I went to EDC, they had drones like this, and it was cool to watch. And I know some fireworks shows also have used drones. But someone gave an explanation as those could be possible drones, which some of you had said in the chat. Jillian goes, military said it wasn't drones. Jennifer goes, why do we assume aliens will fly disc-shaped objects when we ourselves launch rockets? That's kind of funny too, because aliens might necessarily not look like what we think they do too. Joanne goes, I made an art piece of what I saw. Helps me remember the event. Matthew goes, I seen drones make a dragon. Like, I want to believe, but I want to believe that we do have aliens coming here. I don't find it, I find it plausible. I don't find it, way out there, but this kind of makes me think that's possibly what it could have been. Mr. Spock goes, aliens ate my Buick. Another ex-user, J-Wise Kangra, claimed in a post that a number of people had reported UFO sightings in the Palmdale and Lancaster area, with at least 6 unidentified aerial phenomenons, UAPs, zigzagging in the sky early Saturday morning. So here's another picture. This is more of just a picture still. I'm not sure where they got this article, got that from, because it does not say. Oh, there it goes. It does say. Or does it say? It doesn't say. Oh yeah, it does. It's via Twix. But again, this picture also looks like planets to me. But then it's just a still, so maybe if it. He also showed a video of the red and blue light orbs descending rapidly in the sky, but states that the video was unconfirmed. Panic grips Palmdale and Lancaster as multiple residents report seeing UFOs darting across the night sky. Eyewitnesses claim to have spotted not one, but 6 flying saucers, defying logic and leaving the community in shock. He wrote, Ring Neighbors apps are flooded with chilling accounts, which I do have an article about that, and I will get to it after this. A bright light halting midair, zigzagging across the sky, a hovercraft sighting during a routine dog walk, and eerie objects continued in the sky. Authorities are now scrambled to investigate these baffling reports. His report received more than 162,000 views, with many comments about the seemingly bizarre supernatural activity. One man who was in his backyard with his daughter at the time of the reported sightings report, we both thought we saw a shooting star falling east. It stopped very abruptly and zigzagged going north. Checking to see if anyone else saw it, or are we both going crazy, the man wrote in part. Another exasperated viewer who was out walking her dog wrote, you guys, you won't believe what I just saw. At first, I was like, oh my God, what a cool plane that Northrop assembled, but to my dismay, it was a hovercraft. They continued, please tell me I'm not the only one who saw it. The reports of the UFOs over Lancaster and Palmdale came just days after a shocking video showing 2 airline pilots spotting several white orbs during a flight. The video, which was posted on YouTube by Captain Rudd Van Pagmanen, shows 2 pilots flying a Boeing 747 from Saudi Arabia to Nigeria. The pair described the object as being extremely bright and moving freely in the sky. According to Captain Rudd, the supposed UFO orb showed up around 30 minutes into the flight after a normal takeoff and cruising. The video, which is titled UFO Intercepts Captain Rudd Flight with Boeing 747, ends with the pilot convinced he has seen a UFO. He says, this is my experience of seeing something strange or a UFO. I do have another article. This one was from the Daily Mail, but I do have one from the New York Post that kind of shows the ring camera users claim to have spotted filmed UFO zigzagging across the California sky. A flurry of California ring cam users claim to have spotted the filmed UFO zigzagging across the nighttime sky. Users shared reports of sightings late Friday across Palmdale and Lancaster, north of Los Angeles and close to a U.S. Air Force base, which one video showing mysterious bright lights making sudden jerking movements. Multiple individuals have shared their accounts describing bright lights, a hovercraft-like aircraft, and unusual flight patterns. The community site 661 LSD and LACOFD calls noted on X. The group shared a series of messages locals shared on the Ring app. I had mentioned this one on the previous article. Me and my daughter were hanging out in the backyard when we both thought we saw a shooting star falling east. It stopped very abruptly and zigzagged going north. One person wrote, checking to see if anyone else saw it or if we're both going crazy. And again, this is from the Ring app. I'm not sure. I don't have the Ring app, so I don't have connections to this. But my understanding is they have like a community thing, I'm guessing, where you can post videos and stuff like that. I could be wrong. Neighbor goes, UFO. Me and my daughter were hanging out in the backyard when both thought, oh, this is the actual post. I'm sorry about that, guys. But that user was far from alone. Look at this weird UFO I just filmed in my backyard. Another person wrote on X alongside an eerie video. For some odd reason, it won't pop up the eerie video. It gives me an error message. Friday night showing a lidded object flip-flopping in the night sky. You guys, you won't believe what I just saw. Another Ring member posted, I saw a UFO. I was walking my dog in my backyard and saw a bright light in the sky. Please tell me I'm not the only one who saw it. This one goes, flying object in the sky. I was intrigued by the first neighbor who posted that he saw a UFO from his yard. So my mom and I went out to see if we'd see anything. They were too far to me to confidently say they were flying saucers, but did anyone else see multiples? We counted 6 after being out there for about 10 minutes. Another person said they spotted them after going outside, intrigued by other reports, which I just read. They were too far. Palmdale is near Edwards Air Force Base, which is the second largest base in the U.S. Air Force. It's long been a center for advanced aerospace testing and numerous UFO sightings. Well, it's the desert. The area has long been home to reported sightings of UFOs, which could look like this. And they're all thinking that Jennifer made a point. How do we know they look like this? Besides what witnesses have said, they look like that, but they could look like something different too. Some reports claim that local law enforcement was investigating. However, the Lancaster and Palmdale Sheriff's Department denied that, telling the Post that UFOs would come under the purview of the Department of Defense, which has not responded to the reported sightings. Of course they're not. Let me see if I can find all right, I did because they're saying a lot of the reports were on Twix. So I wanted to find some videos to show you. I showed that one. That's something else. All right, I'll click on. So this is online 24/7 X or times 7. Goes more video from the Palmdale, California, where over 60 small orbs, UFOs, are hovering over the family's home for over 15 minutes. I'm not sure how reputable this Twix user is. A few of their neighbors were all watching and videotaping as well. They were perplexed at what they were watching. The one I did show, the one where it looks like a police bar, siren bar. I guess there's also this one, but that to me just looks like a bunch of stars. I don't know about you guys. That's pretty cool though. But I mean, they're in the desert. I feel like in the desert you'd be able to see stars more so than you would see them here in the LA area. Even though I could see them, I could still see stars here, but D Nice goes, my boyfriend parents have that and are always on the app. But that's one of the reports of UFO sightings. That to me just looks like stars. I don't know about you guys, but it is pretty. I agree with you, D Nice and Tirana. There's also I shouldn't have clicked off of it completely. I think this is another. Oh, here's another angle of that. I don't know if I could get it any.
It's landing. That. Bro, what the fuck? What? Why isn't my phone focusing? What is happening right now? Where is it going? It's landing. That.
So with So I guess this is another video, but this one has sound, so I don't want to play the sound. That looks pretty cool, but I don't know. That to me just, I know it's kind of small, guys. I can't enlarge it. Oh, can I? Hold on. There. Let me restart it because it was kind of small. Here's a second video of those lights. This person really thinks it's a UFO and it's landing. But for me, I don't know. I'm the skeptic here. I'm going to always say those look like drones. Jewel goes drones. Chris goes the way the move is not star-like. Chris goes, those aren't stars. Jennifer Marie goes, yeah, that's a good point. Out in the desert with no city lights, you see tons of stars. Yo, Cholo, what is up? What did I miss? Is it really a UAP? I'm having a hard time believing that it is. It's explainable. So I mean, technically it is. If you think of it, it's an unidentified flying object. So technically it is. But to me, this one with this angle, it still honestly looks like drones to me. Mod Squad, what is up? Matthew goes, the camera went dim because the lights were not in frame. Wendy goes, I want to believe. Yeah, I want to believe. Don't get me wrong. I do want to believe, but I'm fine. I've seen drones, and that's kind of how they kind of do that, like in lines like that. I was watching the drones, like I said, I was watching the drones at EDC Las Vegas, and when they were landing just like that in a straight line and all lit up. Leonore goes, those colors of lights are very sus. D-Nice goes, yeah, it's drones. Wendy goes, is it explained? Yeah, well, for me it is. I don't know. Obviously, I think if I was this woman and I'm first seeing this, of course, I'm going to automatically think, oh my God, what is this? But now that I'm looking at it, the more I look at it, the more I think about it. It to me, that's drones. D-Nice goes, some owner of a drone had the bright idea to screw with us. The Mod Squad Network goes, the red and blue lights make me think it's not real aliens. And also, too, that the fact it's got red blinking lights on the end, so that kind of gives it off, too. I agree with you, Mod Squad. Matthew goes, someone on their boats flying drones. Possibility. They're probably just practicing their drone. I tried to fly a drone and I suck at it. So I give kudos for the people that can fly them. There's also this one, which I showed a steal of this one. I didn't really have the video, so here's the video. Oh, this one doesn't have sound. I don't know, guys. What do you think of this one? Leonardo goes, dude, I've seen drones and killer sequences at the past Olympics, but I want to believe. What do you think this one could be? This one's kind of because they're moving. But then I agree with you, Matthew. It's more interesting than the others. This one kind of perplexes me. I mean, you could say these are the planets in the sky just by if it was pictured, but it's moving, so it's kind of hard. D Nice goes, lens flare. I don't think that's lens flare. Matthew goes, one is still and the other is moving. Chris goes, how high can drones? That's a good question, Chris. How high can drones fly? Okay, it says the maximum altitude a drone can legally fly is typically 400 feet, as regulated by aviation authorities like the FAA in the United States. However, some advanced drones are capable of reaching much higher altitudes, with the record being 76,100 feet over 14 miles, achieved by a solar-powered Zephyr drone in 2021. Jennifer Burry goes, why can't aliens visit during the day when it's easier to identify them? Wendy goes, depends on the drone. True, it does depend on the drone, but I just Googled, so that's just like a general but this one, I don't know. This one's kind of interesting. I mean, you could easily say this one's a drone too, but I don't know about this one. This one has me intrigued, actually. Because I think I was driving home one night and I saw a small light on the freeway and I was like, what the heck is that? But then I never think it's a UFO. I'm just like, what is that? And then as a closer look, as I'm driving underneath it, I could see that it was a drone. I was like, someone playing with their drone over the freeway. Come on. Chris goes, it looks drone-ish. And then the other one I had shown you, it's with the boy trying to let his mom know what he's seen. And then let me see if there's anything else. I think that's the same one with I don't don't know if this video is related to that. This one kind of looks like it's fake. Though in the article I had read, and even here it said 6 flying saucers defying logic and leaving the community in shock. That's something else. And those look like the same videos. This one's saying further videos from the California mass sighting. So I'm not sure if this one has to do with it too. But here's another one. This one looks like if it was taken while the sun was going down. D Nice goes, these are interesting. Besides the bird, that looks like that went through the shot. This one doesn't look like it's moving. So with this one, I want to say it's a planet. Let's see. Hold on. And that looks like... that is definitely drones. Here it goes. The alleged Palmdale and Lancaster, California UFO video that's going viral is actually a video of the Pokemon World drone shown from Oahu, Hawaii. But how can they see that? There's no way. You can't see that from Palmdale. I don't think you could see that far. D Nice goes, it's 2024 and we still don't have good camera phones. Leader's like, dun, dun, dun. Chris goes, planets are so hard to see if there's light. I've seen some when it's right at dusk, like right when the sun's going down. Jennifer Marie goes, I think that means the videos are fake, like they happened in Hawaii and people claim it's Palmdale. Maybe. Or I mean, with technology nowadays, there's people that can change that and make it look like it's Palmdale. That is interesting. And I think that is it. Yeah, that's it. It looks like it was just those few. So guys, what do you think it is? Wendy goes, Lewis and Lisa are road tripping. I'll go to Palmdale. I mean, it's hot in Palmdale, but I'll go to Palmdale and check it out. Lisa Boo goes, very interesting. I mean, for the most part, the one looks like drones to me, so I can cast that out. The one in LA was definitely the planet. I don't know where the drones could have came from. Maybe it was that, but I don't think you'd be able to see Hawaii from Palmdale, but I could be mistaken. The one with a bunch of stars that looked beautiful. I know Chris said those aren't stars, but I don't consider that UFO-ish. It didn't look UFO-ish to me. And then the one with the it could be a drone, but that one kind of stumped me a bit. That one kind of intrigued me, but I'm 50-50 when it comes to that one. Leonor goes, it's curious. Terramana goes, interesting. I go, I want to believe, but I'm always going to have that, 50% of me is always going to go, well, it's this, it's that. There's got to be, to debunk something, there's always going to be an explanation to it. So you're always going to think, like, it's this, it's that, it's this. No. And then one person says it's landing it, and I go, no, it's drones. They're landing them. So it's very hard for me to believe. I don't know about you guys. Wendy goes, debunked for sure. But I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on the skies to make sure I can catch something. I'll probably debunk it before I even think of it, but I'll share it anyways if I do see something strange. Lisa Bugo, skepticism is okay with all the AI and editing. True. Very true. It is. It's not bad to be a skeptic. It's actually good to be a skeptic when it comes to things, because you come to things like you're not biased, I would say. Like if someone's like a true believer, any little noise that they hear, oh my God, that's a ghost. That's so and so. So I feel like being skeptic is a good thing. Like you could be a believer and you could be skeptic at the same time. It's a good thing because it broadens your senses in a way. Like you're not gonna like jump to conclusions. And the same thing comes with UFOs. It's good to be skeptical because when you do experience that real thing, it's going to be more genuine. And you're going to know it's the real thing. Wendy goes, it's a hard line to cross, but eyes to the sky and planets and charts history. Exactly. Make sure there's no launches that day. Make sure military isn't doing testing if you live by a military base. I don't, so if I see one, make sure no one was flying a drone, but you're not going to know that unless you personally was out there flying them. D Nice goes, the subject is making me want to watch Don't Look Up again. Such a stupid yet entertaining movie. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Huh. I know for sure after this, it's making me more intrigued to like pay attention and look up into the sky. Because I do want the proof that extraterrestrials are out there. Chris Barber goes, Venus is usually out while it's still light. And I know I look up because I know a few of the constellations, so I always look to see if I can see them. I do like looking at stars. They're beautiful. All right, guys, I did say this stream was going to be about the strange and unusual, but I do have an update with Jason. Just a quick update. Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters. After I know we spoke about him going on having an interview with the news with WPRI 12 with the local news station. And he said, since this interview, Jacqueline Nunez, who has been blocked, has found other ways to make contact, now emailing my children, saying things to them about ending themselves, unaliving themselves. No one should go to this property. Hashtag boycott Conjuring House. Again, if you guys, anyone listening, if you guys, please don't support the Conjuring House. I'm all for it with Jason. Boycott Conjuring House. This woman is just out of control. He also said, her issues are not paranormal related. She has issues that she is amplifying by her choices of lifestyle. I'm sure she'd be pretty happy if everybody believed it was due to paranormal, but it is not by any means. These are issues that have been going on for quite a while and have just been getting worse and worse over time due to her choices. If you guys want to check out his interview, it is on his Facebook page on. So, and this is pretty sad to hear that this is happening to his children. And she's threatening his kids, telling them to unalive themselves. So I'm hoping that he does find justice, and I'm hoping that Brian as well finds justice. And I agree with you, Chris, that is messed up. Jennifer Marie, he just low-key called her out for using, you know what? That's what I was thinking the same thing, Jennifer Marie, but I'm not going to say it out loud. I was thinking the same thing, Jennifer Marie. That's the crazy. I was like, so please, anyone coming in, boycott the Conjuring House, because if you support the business, you are supporting her behavior. Let's boycott it. Let's hopefully she shuts it down. And I doubt she's going to. She seems like a really strong woman, but I think we all are hoping that she sells the property. Jennifer Marie goes like, what other lifestyle choices could he be referring to exactly? What? He said it in a nice way, though. Guys, as always, I forgot to say, Skeleduck is somewhere in the background. For those of you who are new here, hold on, let me grab his picture. He is pictured in the upper right corner. Every stream, I move his location and I hide him. So just remind me and I reveal his location by the end of the stream, because I will forget if you don't. All right. Chris Barber goes, if people start staying away, she may think twice. Exactly. Because if she's not making money, then she can't keep the property. I mean, she's put her foot down, like she's not going to sell the property. I believe she even said it herself. But I mean, if you're not making money off the property, then what? Jennifer Marie goes, you know what? Not that he said that. It's really giving away what M vibes. I am not going to say what she said, but you could read what she said. I wasn't thinking that, Jennifer Marie. I was thinking more of the lines like stress, and because stress in itself can make you go crazy. I wasn't even thinking that until I saw what he said. And then I was like, so I did say the stream is going to be strange and unusual. Remember the woman who married a doll and had doll children? Well, there's a gentleman that married a doll and has doll children. And I think this is crazy. Every time I see an article like this, I'm like, what the heck? I am intrigued. This article is about a year old, but I am intrigued nonetheless. So, a Colombian man who married a rag doll as father to doll kids reveals he finally found love. Christian Montenegro from Colombia is in love with a rag doll. He has a family with her, which includes 3 children. His story has divided the public. Marriage is a union of those who love each other dearly and want to make their commitment legal. However, in recent times, marriages have not stuck to the traditional societal norms. One man from Colombia married a rag doll and stated that he has finally found love. So this is the rag doll he married. I'm not sure what her name is yet because they have not revealed it. Christian Montenegro married a rag doll named Natalie and has a family with the doll. The couple has had 3 doll children. Like other controversial marriage, the man is often spotted with his wife and children at public events and other celebrations. Speaking of other relationships, the man stated that his relationship ended horribly as his ex-girlfriend left him for another person. The man further revealed that his last breakup left him lonely. He also added that he did not date anyone after the sad end of his relationship. It is only after that I fell in love with Natalia, revealing the details of his current relationship. The man claimed that he's happy to have found the love of his life. The man often posts videos on social media. In a recent clip, Natalie was ill and Montenegro called the paramedics to treat her. The clip also showed the ragdoll being carried away by a stretcher. Meanwhile, it is not clear if the video was a joke. I don't know if his Instagram is still up. Oh, his Instagram is no longer available. Or whatever link that they had. Montenegro's unconventional love story and family life had sparked discussion offline and online. While some people are completely accepting of his life and decisions, many have criticisms. Many claim that he is suffering from a psychological disorder. However, doctors confirmed that he does not have any mental disorders. Instead, they stated that he has a unique sexual preference called objectophilia. The latter term refers to a person who falls in love with objects, which I have seen. I've seen people fall in love with a boat, a swing. I mean, there was actually a program. I don't remember what the program was, but it was talking about people that would fall in love with inanimate objects. What are your thoughts of the man's weird love story? So, guys, what do you think of this story of this gentleman? Hold on. Who married Natalia or Natalie. Joanne goes disillusional order. Matthew goes an Aerosmith ragdoll. Jennifer goes, they did not take the doll in the stretcher. Unfortunately, I can't find it because it looks like his Instagram's not up anymore. Joanne goes, yeah, of course. Why can't the men marry dolls and ghosts? Exactly, because you got women doing it, so why can't the men can't do it? I mean, there's also a gentleman, if you think this is crazy, there's a gentleman that married are you guys familiar with real dolls? Like those sex dolls? There's a gentleman married to one of those. And there was an article about that too. So, Chris Barber goes, it's not even a pretty doll. Joanne goes, how did he beat her? It doesn't say in this article. Tyrana goes, very delusional. Joanne goes, where do you go up with to hook up with the doll? Well, remember the woman? I believe like her mom, someone made her that doll, if I wasn't mistaken. When I talked about the woman that married a doll and had doll children, and she actually had pictures of her in the hospital giving birth to the doll children. Panda Bear goes, yes, I am aware of that. Panda Bear, what is up? Matthew goes, Lars in the Real Girl movie. I find it fascinating. I mean, I get it. People get hurt and people don't want to get hurt ever again. So they attach themselves to the thing. I get it. But I don't know. Panda Bear, I'm doing great. But I don't know. I just like Joanne goes, attention seekers. That's what I was thinking. Like the woman that married the ghost, broke brocade. I think because she's like a musician and like an artist, so I was thinking that's the reason why she was doing it, to push her brand. Because why not? You'll get into the news for marrying a ghost and divorcing the ghost and telling your story. So why wouldn't that put you up and advertise your brand? What better way? I mean, I don't think I want to be known as a woman that married a ghost, but to each his own. Or a woman that married, or a gentleman that married a rag doll. To each his own, though. Lisa Bugo's quite strange, but if it works for them, they aren't hurting anyone. True. Panda Bear goes, where did we go wrong in the world? That's why, Lisa Boo, that's why I was saying, like, I know in some cases, like, when you get out of a relationship and that person really hurt you, I totally get it. Like, you don't want to get hurt again, and you start. So I kind of get where it could start. But Jennifer Berry goes, my thoughts too, Lisa, but then he wasted emergency services by calling an ambulance for his doll's wife's face. Exactly. Unless it was staged. We don't know, Jennifer Marie. It could have been just for attention. But we don't know. I'm just reading, you know what I mean? We're just reading what the lines say. We can't see in between the lines, if you want to say, or the story behind the lines. Panda Bear goes, I would rather marry an alien. Chris Barber goes, I kind of agree, Lisa Boo, but I'm glad I don't know any. Joanne goes, I don't think emergency would show up for a doll. I agree. I know for sure here they wouldn't. They would take him in as a 5150. I would think it'd be the same in another country. But I can't access his Instagram, so it must not be up again. But when I had done the story about the woman who was married to a rag doll, she actually had pictures of her in the hospital with the rag doll husband and stuff like that. So Curious Potato, what is up? Chris Barber goes, I'm too honest for my own good sometimes, and I have pissed people off before. I mean, I know if I saw that in public, I wouldn't try to be rude, but I'm pretty sure everybody would be turning their heads. Panda Bear goes, I wonder how they work out of doing it. I would be creeped out. I am not even thinking that far. So I'm just at the point of like, why would you think of marrying an object? That's where I am. And then have a doll family. Joanne goes, they might do a welfare check. Yeah, they probably would, but then they would probably check on him more so. I don't even think that past that far, Panther. Chris goes, I wouldn't say anything to them, but I would if I knew them. Joanne, yeah, for sure. Lisa Boo, I do agree. There are some interesting people out there. There are. All right, guys. This was actually in the news. Matthew goes, just looking no account, but playing pictures of him and the doll in the gurney. Hold on. Hold on. Let me do a Google image search. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Thank you, Matthew. So I did a Google search. So here are all the pictures. Here's the woman that married a ragdoll as well that I had talked about in a previous stream. Yeah, here's a picture of her on a gurney. Hold on. I mean, I don't know if it's mocked, but it has to be because that doctor's a doll. That has to be. That is definitely a mocked picture. There are plenty of pictures. They even had a wedding. That is just crazy. Matthew goes, there's a video on Twix. Joanne goes, no way a hospital would put up with that crap. I agree. Curious Potato, like that guy who married a horse. I didn't hear about that one, but I believe it. Because I've heard about people marrying like a boat. Because there was I had mentioned it before, but I don't remember the program name. It was a while ago. But it was about people that had married strange things. It was about the strange and unusual, in other words. And a woman was in love with a boat. And somebody was in love with a Ferris wheel or something, if I wasn't mistaken. But I don't remember the name of the show for the life of me. Chris Barber goes, I mean, a doll doesn't change. Exactly. So I don't. Lisa Boo goes, I don't like the idea of marrying animals. That's just wrong. Panda Bear goes, it's very creepy. It is. Curious Potato was, it was Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer liked to do like the like the crazy things. Matthew goes, a real person checking on the doll in the video, not him doing it. Jennifer Marie goes, they took the if you love it so much, then why don't you marry it a little too seriously? Also, to continue the strange and unusual, this is actually on the net, and it's from Japanese Today. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Scared karate expert breaks haunted house ghost jaw, files lawsuit that it wasn't all his fault. And yes, you heard right. And this is from Japan Today, but when you Google it, it's on several sites. So again, scared karate expert breaks haunted house ghost jaw, files lawsuit that it wasn't all his fault. Tokyo. And what no doubt one of the weirder lawsuits to come before the Japanese judicial system. This summer, the Osaka High Court was recently tasked with deciding where the responsibility lies in an incident in which a ghost had its jaw broken by a karate master. I was like, what? I'm with you, Chris. What the? The lawsuit stems from an incident that took place over a decade ago. In September of 2011, I'm with you, Curious Potato. I'm like, what the hell? A group of coworkers visited the Toei Kyoto Studio Park, also known as Toei Yuzamasa Igamura Theme Park in Kyoto, as part of a company trip. In addition to filming locations for production company Toei's period samurai movies and TV shows, one of the attractions the co-workers checked out was a haunted house. One member of the group, a karate Yudansha, a karate practitioner who has reached the upper Dan certification levels, entered the haunted house while holding hands with his companion. It's unclear whether this was a sign of affection or to steady his nerves, but if it was the latter, it apparently failed to do the trick. At some point of the pair's journey through the haunted house, a Toei Kyoto Studio Parks, aha, now it explains it. A Toei Kyoto Studio Park staff member, dressed in a scary costume, emerged, and as soon as he did, the karate man lashed out with his right foot, kicking the park employee in the face and breaking his jaw. My God, why did they put that in the title? Like, come on. Oh, and perhaps not coincidentally, the karate man had been drinking prior to entering the haunted house. So basically, it was not a ghost that he kicked. It was someone working for the haunted house, for the haunted attraction. Come on, article. A lawsuit ensued. Yeah, Lisa Boo. It was a real guy, not a ghost. So they need they need to fix their title a bit. A lawsuit ensued with the ghost employee seeking compensation, and in 2015, a settlement was reached in which the karate man agreed to pay 10 million yen in damages. However, the karate man then filed his own lawsuit against the theme park's managing company, saying that they too were responsible for the incident and should share the financial burden and cover a portion of the damages the karate man had agreed to pay. Matthew, yes, clickbait titles to that article, exactly. Because I was like, what? The karate man based his claims on 4 factors. There was no partition or physical barrier between the ghost and guests. The park had failed to train its employee to avoid attacks from customers. The park failed to adequately inform customers that the haunted house contained human workers acting as ghosts. Like, really? Number 3? Really? The park should have prohibited the man from entering the haunted house because he had been drinking. So those are his claims. It's really not the most solid case. For starters, costume staff acting as ghosts and monsters are the norm for walk-through haunted houses in Japan, like the one at Toei Kyoto Studio Park, and without railings or walls separating them from the guests. So those features are really to be expected. It's true. It's the same here. With the vast majority of patrons able to make it all the way to haunted houses without assaulting the ghost, it also seems a little bit too heavy of a responsibility to place on the park to train employees to block, dodge, or otherwise neutralize attacks, especially ones coming from a trained karate expert. And finally, hey, this is your fault because I was drunk is pretty low on the list of convincing arguments when passing out blame. And so in January of this year, an Osaka district court threw out the karate man's suit, denying his request that Toei Kyoto Studio Park take on 4.8 million yen of the 10 million in damages the man had agreed to pay. The karate man then responded by filing an appeal with the Osaka High Court, using his request to one of that park covered 7 million yen of the damages. Last month, the High Court gave its ruling and once again ruled in favor of the park. While it is true that the aim of the staff portraying the ghost to surprise customers, this is done with the understood principles that the haunted house is something that can be safely enjoyed, said the court in its ruling. Unlike within the story of a movie or TV show, the ghosts are not actually attacking the customers, so there's no need for them to physically fight back. The ruling continued, coming to the conclusion that it's difficult to find any justifiable motive or logical rationale for the karate man's actions. So remember, everybody, if you are a trained fighter with speedy combat reflexes, easily startled or drunk, you might want to skip the haunted house, and you definitely should if you are all 3 of those things. So it was a clickbait article. They need to kind of clarify their title. Ray J. Wench, what is up? How's it going? And welcome. Jennifer, the guy is grasping to avoid the bill. Matthew, or maybe you should not attack someone when you knew very well before you went there. True. I mean, it's a haunted house. Things are going to jump out at you. It just makes sense. It's normal. I know it's normal here. I don't know. It seems like it's normal there for a haunted attraction as well. Joanne goes, you should have known what a haunted house is all about. Exactly. I mean, they're pretty much all the same except for those extreme horror ones. But those extreme horror ones make you sign an affidavit before you even go in. So you kind of already know what to expect, because there are those that touch you. But for the most part, the normal ones, like at Universal Studios, don't touch you. So it's like a given. That's why I was like, what? Curious Potato goes, we like haunted. Yes, for sure. Joanne, the extreme ones are crazy. If you guys have not seen one of my previous streams, it's on Macamee Manor. Check it out. It's about extreme horror. There's also a documentary on Hulu. The monster, forgot what it's called, but it does mention Macamee Manor. Check it out. You'll be mind blown. I knew they existed, but I didn't know to what extent that some of these went, and the people that actually go to them and their experiences. So it's crazy. I don't think I'll ever go to one of those. I just prefer my, run of the mill haunted attraction. So I agree with you, Joanne. Ray J. Wench watched that one earlier today. Awesome. I agree, Joanne. It should be illegal. There's some of them, though, that it also showed that they do have safe words, which I agree with those. At least if you're feeling uncomfortable, you could see the safe words and they stop, which they did show in the documentary. So those I kind of feel like are cool. But the Macamee Manor, he had no safe words. It was done when he said it was done. When the owner said it was done. And that one I feel like should be illegal. In fact, the reason he used to be here in SoCal in San Diego, and the reason why he pretty much just moved it out of town was because they had put a petition out for him to shut it down. So, I mean, I feel like I agree with you, Joanne. It should be illegal. So, we've got this one to continue the strange and unusual. Unfortunately, the last one started out strange and unusual, but ended up just being a not an actual ghost that he had kicked, but a haunted attraction worker, which they should have put in the title, but they failed to do so. So this is a trucker terrified after ghost is filmed hanging on his rig. So here is a picture. I think there's a video here somewhere. Okay, there's a video. Here's like kind of a picture that kind of resembles it. Truckers have to deal with a lot. They spend long hours on the road, pay high gas prices, sit in traffic, sleep in their cabs, get flat tires, and face a slew of other issues. One thing you would think they probably don't have to worry about, though, is ghosts. But that's just what one truck driver encountered. The trucker was leading a convoy in the middle of the night through Argentina's Cordoba province when he passed a woman standing on the side of the road. After driving by, he checked back on her by looking in his mirrors, but she had disappeared. Surprised at her sudden vanishing and likely concerned that she might have gone in the street, he radioed to the rest of the convoy for them to be on the lookout, and he was shocked with how they responded by telling him that the woman was hanging on the back of his rig. They filmed what they saw and posted it to YouTube. I don't know if I could play it. No. So here's a video. That was loud. So this is apparently a woman hanging off the back of the cab. And this is what they caught. The driver didn't have much time to freak out. Moments later, the woman vanished once again. Convinced they had seen a ghost, the truckers were so disturbed by what they had scrapped their plans to sleep nearby and instead drove another 800 miles to put some distance between them and the creepy incident. The spook truck driver named Jorge told a local news outlet, "I didn't believe in these things until it happened to me." Guys, what do you think that is? That's not the picture. Hold on, let me see if I could get it and pause it. I mean, the pause didn't come out correctly, but what do you think that is? My first initial reaction was like, yeah, right. Joanne goes, set up. That's what I was thinking too. Jennifer Bree goes, someone's got a stalker. Chris Barber, a real person. Now that I'm looking at it again, I'm thinking it might be that too. Joanne goes, how did she get on there? It depends. I mean, they could have easily just stopped the truck and she hopped on for a minute and then they filmed, but I don't see a way of her holding on. Lisa Boo goes, that reminds me of Polar Express with ghosts hanging on the train. Ray J. Wench goes, that's creepy. Matthew goes, a real person, either hitchhiker or they set it up. I was thinking that they added the person in, like it was CGI'd or AI'd or whatever you might, that they had added it in. That's what I was thinking it was. Tyranna setup. I'm agreeing with you guys that it's a setup, or because I was like, yeah, right. Not to say that these things don't happen. I do believe, but it's very hard for me to believe videos nowadays. But it very well might have been a ghost lady. We never know. We weren't there. If I was there and saw that, I would probably be a believer. But we weren't there, unfortunately. So for me, I think it's added in, or it's a setup. Curious Potato goes, I think it's CGI. That too. Lisa Boo goes, yeah, it was a setup. Matthew goes, some trailers got metal poles on the back. So she could have been holding on, like they could have rigged something for her to hold on. And just had her, wear white raggedy clothing and paint her. You could do that too. Chris Barber goes, setup. Got one more article, guys, and I'll open it up for questions. Ray J. Wench goes, it's only a ghost lady if she leaves her jacket. There's plenty of folklore stories like that where they're driving, they pick up a young lady on a dark road, take her home, and there is one like that where this gentleman takes her home, finds out that that she left the jacket in the car, goes back to the house and realizes that the young lady had died 20 years earlier and it was the person's daughter. That's the crazy thing. Matthew goes, seen TV shows of people hanging on the back of truck trailers. So this one's from the Daily Star, and it's mannequin graveyard buzzing with paranormal activity is home to a ghost called Trevor. The woman in charge of a mannequin graveyard has said she believes she has a spirit called Trevor haunting her terrifying collection. Roz Edwards started collecting mannequins in 2007 after she wrapped up her African art shop. She now has a mountain of 15,000 salvage dummies that is around 20 feet high and 50 feet long, housed in a former World War II Royal Air Force Base mannequin hall in Fulbeck, Lincolnshire. The creepy dolls are hired out, and the graveyard is used as a film location, attracting the likes of the X Factor, Top Gear, and even Supergrass Gas Goobies. She also hosts an annual Halloween event, which is fitting affair for such eerie and haunted location. Those look haunted. That's just creepy. Roz first realized Mannequin Hall was haunted when certain unexplained things happened. A present felt in a room like someone was there, but nobody was, she explained, adding that there was some activity in the art studio where a crash bang was heard and a drawer full of screws had fallen off a shelf. During the lockdown, when she was at the graveyard alone, she saw a shadowy figure at the end of the corridor. Here's another one of her creepy mannequins. I kind of knew by then we had an atmosphere, and so I shouted out to him and now call him Trevor, she said. She now believes the former Royal Air Force Base is home to several spirits, 4 of which Roz has named Trevor, Joshua, Gladstone, and the mysterious airman. While Roz says many visitors believe the mannequins are haunted, investigations haven't drawn any connections between the two, and in fact are likely to be related to the location's military history. Here's another one of the creepy looking mannequins. I always thought mannequins were creepy looking. According to investigators, we have a lady called Alice who sings in our warehouse. One wonders if she was a local girl who sang it to the troops, Roz said. The hall was a RAF and U.S. Air Force base in the Second World War, and in particular a communal dining area. It would have been a hive of activity. She added that there was some kind of tragedy at the hall which claimed the lives of 23 people, and that she believes the spirits belong to some of these people. Despite this, Roz says the spirits are good but shy, adding, I haven't ever had any bad feelings about them. Trevor and company make themselves known by triggering a feeling that you are not alone, although you appear to be. She recalled the time when she heard someone walking up the corridors whistling a tune, adding, I was the only one here and my dog who got up and barked. It's usually very subtle, like when you see someone out of the corner of your eye. And that is it. That mannequin yard sounds crazy. Jane, Rick, what is up? Yes, Jane, Rick, you did. Curious Potato had met Trevor. Nice bloke. Matthew also added to the previous video with the girl at the back of the truck trailer. Also in the video, the truck is going very slow. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up for questions if you guys are just getting here. I did speak about the aliens and I did show the footage. Just catch it on the replay. And then I also talked about a few strange and unusual things. And a little update with Jason Hawes and the owner of the Conjuring House, Jacqueline Nunez. So check that out on the replay. But I am opening it up for questions, guys. Could be paranormal related, could be anything, could be UFOs, could be anything. We could go down a rabbit hole if you guys would like to. Matthew goes, why is Lewis lying? He's an alien. Lisa Boo goes, have you used your EMF reader yet? I have, Lisa Boo. I always, whenever I watch Ghost Adventures, I think I told the story before. Whenever I see Ghost Adventures, the first thing they always say, what's in the house? You know, Zach asks, like, what's in the house? And they were like, the person's ashes. And they always put the EMF meter by the ashes and it always spikes. So I said, no way. That's BS. So I do have my parents' ashes, both my mom and dad. I have them on a table next to my bed. So I decided to try it because I was like, you know what? I could try it. I've got my parents' ashes here. Let's try it. Let's try to debunk it. So I went there. I did a normal reading where I just, scanned, nothing spiked. Grabbed my mom's urn, and I kind of had it in my hand. It spiked a little bit. I was like, no way. I was like, no, it's got to be my watch, because I do have, I have a Samsung watch. So I said, it's got to be my watch. So I put it down, and I put the EMF reader next to my mom's ashes, and it spiked. Not like the big old spikes like you see on the TV show, because, on those TV shows, they like to add things. Not the big old spike, but some of the TV shows, but it seems like most of them do. Not saying all of them. Not the big old spike. It had a little spike, but it did spike. And I was like, there's no way this could be spiking. There's like, so then I did the same thing with my dad, and I even did around the wall, like just to make sure, that it wasn't something around there. I did the same thing, put it down, and it spiked a little bit. Not the huge big spikes like you see on, some of these YouTubers, like the big energy or I mean, I could get big spikes if I put it by the Wi-Fi router too. So I made sure I wasn't by the Wi-Fi router or anything, or my phone wasn't by there or anything, and it spiked a tiny bit. And I'm still like, what? I'm going to have to try this again later, and I still haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it again. Marcella, what is up? And Lisa Boo goes, I have an EMF reader and I'm excited to use it. Oh, that's awesome, Lisa Boo. Jennifer Marie goes, does anything they emball with cause EMFs to spike? I am not sure, because I'm still skeptical about that, because I was like, yeah, right. I mean, not to say that you don't retain some energy in death. I mean, because I believe that's a possibility, but it still, I feel like my parents' spirit is no longer there with their ashes, so I feel like there shouldn't be any energy. That's my opinion. I know some people have other opinions, though I know my parents are with me wherever I go, but I feel like it's them, but it's not them, if you get what I'm saying. So it's kind of, I don't know. I got to try it again. Like, it kind of, it baffled me a bit. Dusty, how's it going? But I wanted to debunk that, because I always felt like, yeah, because it seems like in every episode where a house has ashes in it, that's what they do. They put the EMF meter by the ashes, and then the thing spikes all the way up. And I'm like, yeah, right. Marcella goes, your intention calls in the soul, not the ashes. I agree, even though I feel that they're there, and I feel like with their ashes they're close with me, but it's not it's them, but it's not them. Like, it's not their soul. Matthew goes, I have to wait for fall for my meter. When they shipped the Ghostbusters trap and PKE meter, they showed updated footage of it working in EMF mode. Oh, that's cool. Super cool. Guys, keep the questions going. Lisa Boo, that was a good one. And also, too, for some odd reason, when I was using the EMF meter and hear the wall in front of me, it spikes. So I'm wondering what's in the wall causing it to spike like that. I have no idea. Because I've used it in here as... Hold on, guys. Sometimes when I do that, it goes crazy. I've used it in here because I get orbs also on the camera that's behind me. Or you can't see it, but the camera that's right there, I do have a camera in here, and it does catch orbs frequently. So I always try to use it in here, but there is some energy in the wall in front of me. Joanne goes, aliens in the wall. Lisa Boo goes, maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe electronic wiring, something. I'm not sure, but it does spike when I put it, like, it red lines when I put it in the wall in front of me. So I'm like, Panda Bear goes, those REM pods are high price. I was looking at one not too long ago, $180. They do have them. I want one of those, but I agree with you, Panda Bear. They are high in price. There's one on Amazon. I do want one. I do have an SB7 Pro that I got. I haven't tried out yet, so I do want to try that. It's a spirit box. Curious that, I know that. Curious Potato goes, EMFs can mess with your brain function. I know. That can cause you to see things too as well. So I'm not sure what's causing it. But if you guys want a REM pod, they are on Amazon for $180 or so. I think $179, but it comes out with tax. I do want one of those. I do see people use those frequently. I've never used one of those, but would like to. And I have a Wi-Fi extender too behind me, because the Wi-Fi in this room isn't that great, and it puts off EMFs. Lisa Boo goes, I use a shungite bracelet for EMF protection. I probably should do that. I like those kind of things, actually. Matthew goes, yes, they mention that on ghost hunters all the time. Some of the places they go to have high EMF. Yeah, it can make you, if I'm not mistaken, the high EMFs, and I remember that too being mentioned on ghost hunters, the high EMFs can cause you to think that there's things happening in your house. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. I think that's where I heard it from, but I could be mistaken. So don't quote me. Tyranda goes, I wonder what's in your wall. Creepy. That's what makes me wonder, because it's just a wall. So I don't know. Maybe it is wiring. Maybe there's some wiring in the wall that I don't know about. Matthew goes, yes. Okay. Guys, keep the questions coming. Marcella goes, have you seen Hope Paranormal on YouTube? No, I have not. It sounds familiar though, Marcella. Like the name sounds familiar, but I haven't seen it. I might have came across it, but I haven't watched it. And real quick, guys, Skeleduck, before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget, is right there. Right where my finger's pointing. He is bottom up. Next to Gizmo or Mugwai, depending on what you want to call him. But he's right where my finger's at. Right there. Marcella, I'll have to check that out. Chris Barber goes, I've been watching weird videos on trail cameras. I watch those too, actually. I mean, it's an easy location. I mean, you could kind of tell it's him. I mean, Jennifer Murray goes, I never would have guessed he was there. next to my fuggler. I don't know. I like fugglers for some odd reason, guys. Because they're fugly. This one, that one's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, though. All right, guys, keep the questions going. I'll stay on for a few more minutes. Matthew goes sniffing Gizmo's butt. Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah. Keep the questions coming, guys. Lisa Sabu goes, oh no, Skella being bad again. Chris goes, I wonder what Mogwai's farts smell like. Guys, who's excited for Halloween? Because technically Halloween season starts in August. Lisa Boo goes, do you have other posters around your house? In my room? I have the ones that you see here. I've got Bloodsport, the promo for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and then I've got James Dean, Marilyn Monroe, Bogart photos. I always love the photos. In my room, I've got the Divergent posters because I'm a huge fan of Divergent. Then I've got my room is kind of divided in different. So I've got a horror section where I've got Friday the 13th up, and then I've got the poster for Jigsaw that they gave away when you went to see the movie. So it's like the movie they give, you know how when you go to movie theaters they give you like a smaller version of the movie poster, but you can only get it at the theater type of thing. That's the one I have of Jigsaw and have it on the wall. I have another Friday the 13th. It's from it's like a Mad Monster thing with Tommy Jarvis on it. I've got, and then I'm into DC, so I've got Batman with Bane on it. I forget what it's called, Batman, not Begins, but it's the last one with Bane in it. I have that poster. I've got little pictures of like Batman, the Green Arrow, Batgirl, Constantine, Joker. I've got Star Wars stuff. I've got like a picture of The Witcher. But since, Henry Cavill looks like the video game one, you can't tell which one it is. Which I'm sad that he's no longer playing The Witcher. I don't think I'm going to watch it with what's his face in it. I've got a promo that when they were promoting It Chapter 2, they had a haunted house the first time with the first movie on Hollywood and Vine. They actually had the house, so we got to walk through it. The second time in the same place, they had like a carnival and they were giving out posters for it. So it's like this crazy like carnival looking posters, and it's got dead people like hanging off the thing. So it's kind of cool. Got the Pokemon movie poster. I've got another Temple of Doom poster. Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom. That's my favorite Indiana Jones poster up. And then yeah, that's about it. I'm probably forgetting some things, but Matthew goes, I'm just starting to watch my Grimm complete series Blu-ray. Was going to next month, but I have some things to do then. Lisa Boo's so sad he's not the Witcher anymore. It is. Matthew goes, I have a bunch of Disney movie insiders posters, a few Scream Factory posters, Army of Darkness, and Return of the Living Dead. I also got one that you could only get at Comic-Con, and it was of Grant Gustin Flash, the CW Flash. I like the CW Flash. And it had Stephen Amell's Green Arrow on it. So I have that on the wall too, and I got that at Comic-Con. Dusty goes, yes, when I worked at the theater, we used to give those out for many of the movies, free promos, sometimes had contests for t-shirts. Chris goes, damn girl, how big is your bedroom? It's like the master bedroom, I guess. Matthews has got a Christine poster, but it's a little messed up, and messed up Buffy season 1 DVD poster. Also have my mom's picture up that my dad had enlarged for me, so I hung it on the wall with I also had her ash. My dad had given me her ashes on a necklace, but I never wore the necklace because I never wanted to lose it, so it's around the picture of her. I have like a promo from Pet Cemetery, like a mask from it. So I put that up. I had the mask from the strangers in my room, but I brought it in here, so it's in here now. Like I have one from the newer Pet Cemetery here too, like a promo with church on it. It's behind my peep. And then I got many posters that are rolled up. All right, guys, any last minute questions before I end this stream? Lisa Bugos, do you have a ducky collectible you were looking for? I'm kind of looking. I like those duckies. Thank you, Joanne. I like those duckies, like the horror ones that they have. So I've been eyeing those. But and I'm looking for because I know it's Halloween, so now I know they're gonna have a different version of Skeleduck. So I'm looking for a different version of Skeleduck to add to the studio. And any skeletons they might look. But yeah, I'm always eyeing different like I got this one really isn't a rubber ducky, but I have this one. This one's kind of cool. This one's like it's like I don't know what it is, resin or something, but I got this one that I thought was kind of cool. It's my devil duck. But like if I find strange and unusual rubber duckies, that's kind of what I kind of look for. I like the ones that you don't think are rubber duckies, but they're rubber duckies. Thank you, Tyrana. Thank you, Ray J. Wench. Nerd Report goes, this was the best stream of the week. Thank you, Nerd Report. Thank you, Chris. But I'm always, like I said, I'm always looking for something strange and unusual because I like the strange, unusual stuff. But all right, guys, I'm going to end this stream here. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Grayson Report. I'll see you guys on the next one, which will be Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there, be squared, stay spooky, guys, and sweet nightmares. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. And good night, and have a great rest of your weekend. See you on the next one.